Hello and welcome to the jury round special of the CNBC TV 18 OVERDRIVE Awards for the year 2014. Now this past year has been a daunting one for the Indian markets. That however hasn't dampened the spirit of manufacturers for launching newer products, creating newer segments, trying to woo the Indian mindset with an array of India-specific launches and strategies. Now it's imperative that excellence must be rewarded, so we have with us 20 of this year's best cars and bikes here at the MMSC track in Chennai. We have with us an illustrious list of jury members to help us judge them. Now I have with me Bert, the editor of OVERDRIVE, to help us understand the process of evaluation a bit better. Bert?
Hi Jamshed. The CNBC TV 18 OVERDRIVE Awards stands on 4 basic pillars, and these are quality, practicality, reliability and value for money. Under this, what we're looking at is design and style, we're looking at ergonomics, we're looking at interior comfort, luxury, spaciousness, we're looking at engine performance and efficiencies, we're looking at handling and ride quality, and we're looking at safety. But above and beyond all of this, what we're looking at is that one very important pillar, which is desirability, the fun to drive factor, the fun to ride factor. At the heart of everyone in OVERDRIVE, what we want as a car of the year or a motorcycle of the year at the end of the day is something that we enjoy to drive or ride.
Well, that sounds like a handful, and the jury certainly has its work cut out for the day.
Well, yes, there is a daunting task ahead for the jury members. We're basically rolling about 20 road tests in one day. So that's a lot of work for them. Thankfully, the weather's holding up. It's bright and sunny. We don't expect any rain, but even if it does, well, I do expect there'll be a lot of fun to be had at the MMST.
So, let's begin with introducing our list of jurors for the cars then.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the jurors for the car of the year.
Bertrand D'Souza, or Bert, has been testing cars and motorcycles for almost 15 years and has driven everything from a Nano to a Formula 1 car. Vikrant Singh tests all things on 4 wheels and is capable of clear, objective vehicle evaluation despite his huge passion for automobiles. Hari Singh is a 5-time Indian National Rally champion and leading product development driver for many manufacturers in India today. V.S. Vishwanathan, the Managing Director of Bosch India, brings to the OVERDRIVE jury an unparalleled insight into vehicle technology and the perspective of automobile suppliers to the jury. Mittu Chandilya is the CEO of Air Asia, whose passion for fast cars saw him participate in and beat other CEOs in the Corporate Star Grand Prix hosted by CNBC TV 18 a few months ago. Vijay Parmar heads Himalayan Motorsports and has been the man behind the Raid the Himalaya since its inception. He's the only jury member evaluating both cars and bikes at the awards. Now you've seen our list of jury members. It's now time to see the contenders, and we begin with nominees for the small car of the year.
Grand i10 for a small car has very good equipment, good space and good quality as well.
Hyundai has been known to make value for money cars, and in the hatchback segment, they're definitely one of the most popular choices over there. And the Grand i10 is probably one of the best, if not the best hatchback they have ever manufactured.
Inside, it's very roomy. I think I'm a tall guy, I need enough leg room, and it's fairly roomy. But on the track, actually, it maneuvers really well.
The diesel engine seems quite refined. It's nice, pretty smooth, doesn't have so much vibration inside. It really has nothing negative against it.
But the big surprise was the handling on the corners. And on the track, because of the extra weight in front, I expected it to understeer a lot. However, I managed to hold the line extremely well.
Given the engine options and the number of versions that the Grand i10 is available with, I think it scores really high on the value for money proposition.
The last time Reva came out with the small car, the small electric hatchback, it really wasn't much of a car and it didn't take off too well. But Mahindra have shown how the way forward to Reva and their association with that company has brought out the E2, and I think it's a brilliant package.
Mahindra E2O is the only electric car we have this year. Does it give it an advantage? I'm not so sure. It's got a decent range now. It is much better than the Reva that came, but it's still a pricey option.
For an electric car, I think it's done a few things right. You know, inside it's a bit roomy. It has a different feel. It's smooth. I think it's got to work on a few things on its accelerator, which is a bit sticky. And the same with its brakes too. They tend to stick, but I think that's the electric technology and it needs to evolve through.
Mahindra Reva, compared to the earlier version, which was really a blot on the landscape, this one is quite nice. It looks good, and putting it in the boost mode was once again quite a surprising performance from that car. It's completely changed character.
The price for the vehicle at about 7.5 lakhs looks a bit expensive, but when you take into account the savings in fuel and other maintenance, etc., this will be a long-term paying proposition.
Well, the Polo GT TSI was the car that I really enjoyed driving today. It handled brilliantly. It felt like a decent sized car. It didn't feel like a small car either when you're sitting inside. The interiors were quite rich, the feel was good, and the DSG gearbox just was so smooth.
Personally, I love the concept of the Polo GT. I think performance in a hot hatch like that, in a small hatchback like that, is just a brilliant proposition to have, because people are looking for performance and looking for, enthusiasts are looking for that value proposition as well.
For such a small car, they are really good in terms of drivability, power, as well as the torque. And in terms of fuel efficiency, it is an awesome car.
The Volkswagen Polo GT was absolutely one of the funnest cars for me because it's very easy to drive. It's got quite a powerful engine for a car of that size.
Polo GT, very quick and extremely a driver's car. It really does the job. I mean, one would really enjoy having a track day with this car.
I think now it is would probably be one of the most fuel efficient petrol automatics in its class, and it's still fun to drive, so that's a huge plus.
Toyota forever has been making cars that people think were economical, value for money, comfortable, but never fun to drive. Now the Leva Sportivo changes all that. Here is another hot hatch.
The Leva Sportivo now gets a 1.5 litre petrol engine. It is the same engine that you get in the Etios sedan. This has helped the car in terms of performance. It is a quicker car to drive.
Toyota has managed to offer or rather change and present a new philosophy of theirs, which is, yes, well, a lot of fun can be had from a Toyota as well. BMW, well, it's a brave new step for well, all the German manufacturers, not just BMW, but the 1 Series, assembling it in India and then offering that hatchback to the Indian consumer. It definitely makes a lot of sense because there are a lot of people out there looking for a premium hatchback, especially something that has a well-renowned, well-known badge at the front of it. So the 1 Series, yes, it's also got, well, it's a great car to drive. It encompasses all that BMW stands for, which is that fun to drive aspect, which is visible in all of their cars. The 1 Series is no different. It's great fun to drive, nice engines, well, great efficiency to be had from them, and overall, well, we're at a racetrack, and I know since morning a lot of people have been pelting that 1 Series around. They've been enjoying themselves thoroughly.
The BMW 1 Series, it's amazing. For that car of that size, the engine packs a real wallop.
It packs in a lot of features, great refinement in the car, and obviously packed with safety features as well, which is what BMW is also famous for. But great handling, great drive.
The BMW 1 Series next generation will be a front-wheel drive. It won't be a rear-wheel drive anymore. The advantage will be that there will be better space available, the packaging will be better, but the fun-to-drive factor will certainly disappear.
Coming up after this break, we bring you the nominees for the Sedan of the Year award. Back, you're watching the jury round special of the CNBC TV 18 Overdrive Awards for the year 2014. Now, you've seen our list of contenders for the Small Car of the Year awards. It's time to move to something a bit bigger. So here's our list of nominees for the Sedan of the Year.
The Vento TSI borrows the same engine and gearbox from the Polo GT TSI. It has helped the Vento in the automatic department because the previous Vento automatic, the 5-speed torque converter unit wasn't great, it wasn't a good drive. With the DSG that comes in now, the engine returns better fuel economy, it is better to drive, drivability wise. So I think it is a good step.
The Vento GT Automatic's trump card, of course, is that DSG gearbox, the twin clutch gearbox. Its biggest character, its biggest benefit to a sedan is the efficiency that it is able to provide, and that makes a big difference for automatics. Well, that is the way automatics will go in the future.
The handling was initially soft, but did manage to hold its line somewhat. The space is okay, the space is good for a car of that category.
The Honda Amaze, what do we say about the Honda Amaze? I mean, there were so many expectations from Honda at that point in time, and Honda just surpassed all of those, took the small, compact, entry-level sedan to a whole new level.
Great engine, all aluminium. It's a little noisy, but very efficient, very good drivability. And what Honda's also managed to achieve with the Amaze is to have a compact sedan that's under 4 meters, but it offers a lot of rear knee room, which is, I think, a huge advantage.
The one that really strikes me as far as Honda Amaze is concerned is the space. A big space both for the passengers, for the driver, as well as for the boot. Excellent space, good drivability, solid fuel efficiency, and diesel Honda's first one here. So it has really set the benchmark in its class.
The Honda Amaze, definitely one of the strongest contenders for the Car of the Year award in 2014. The Skoda Octavia is so good it found its place on the cover of our magazine, and we've asked the question if the legend was back, and well, definitely the legend is back. There was a lot we were expecting from the Octavia, and it has matched all those expectations.
The Skodas have been value for money. This one is too. It has quite a bit of space. It has good driving dynamics. The interiors feel rich and plush. So I think, yeah, it has a lot going for it as a product.
The Skoda Octavia was another surprise that I drove. Again, the engine was very smooth. The DSG gearbox again kicked in very well. A lot of comfort, good handling. You know, a feel safe kind of car, and I think that's, you know, a fantastic option to have. Well, it's got all the features in it. Comfort, yes. The back seat as well, pretty large, comfortable. The boot pretty big. So it's, you know, it's a combination of a good city car as well as a long distance traveling car, family car. It's a great option to have.
Octavia has a really planted feel when you're going on the road, and it has a reputation for lasting on and on and on. So I suppose people would treat that as a premium package and may shell out a bit more.
On the other side, we bring you the nominees for the Executive Car of the Year award. Welcome back. We are at the MMSC track here in Chennai with 20 of this year's best cars and bikes. Now, you've seen our list of nominees for the Small Car of the Year and the Sedan of the Year. It's now time to go a bit more premium. So here's our list of nominees for the Executive Car of the Year.
The new Mercedes E-Class is a facelift, and it is one of the most significant facelifts that we have seen. If I were to pick the most comfortable car in its class, I think yes, the E-Class would be it. It's got good seats, it's got similar equipment, and it is very easy to drive. It's light, and the visibility also outside is very good.
Probably one of the best, back seats in the business, even to date. The E-Class, however, we've seen a few cosmetic changes in that. We've also seen a few mechanical changes. It's grown a lot more efficient than it was before. And of course, the design and style, not everybody may like it. Some do, some don't. I find myself walking the middle path. I'm being diplomatic here, but I think the E-Class, it's got some nice touches. And I think there were some others that could definitely have been better.
I think it's probably the easiest car to drive in its size and its category. Very powerful, and it's just very light. It's very light on its wheels, and you can really hug the corners. Very easy to drive, and you can push the accelerator to a maximum, as it does fairly well.
E250, I cannot say there's anything wrong with it. The interiors again look very rich. That's what they're supposed to be in the Mercedes brand. The driving was fantastic. The back seat was pretty comfortable as well. All in all, a fantastic executive car to have, whether you want to drive it or you want to sit behind and be chauffeur driven.
I love the dash and the way it changes the displays, the digital displays. I think that's a neat touch. Apart from that, the car was impeccable in drive. It went through everything without a flutter, and I think it was the best in its class.
Out and out a driver's car, and the car that you want to buy in the 5 Series range is definitely the 530D, which comes with the M Sport Performance package. I've had a lot of fun in that car. I've got the tail out on times in that car on our street. Great performance, yet good efficiency to be had from that car. It's a diesel, but you really wouldn't believe that it's diesel. So there you have it. I think the 530D is a brilliant package. If someone's looking for an executive car with a track day on the weekend, the 530D is your answer.
I think the BMW was a much heavier car, but and I mean that as a compliment. You know, it just holds very steady, and it's you can feel the engine. It's very powerful.
In a market like India, I think it's good because we have difficult roads, and having a car that's meant for luxury travel, if you have to battle bad roads with a thumpy ride, that's not good. So I think for India, it's a good direction that BMW is taking.
I think Toyota is treading a very brave path with the Camry Hybrid, because that's the only option that that's the only car they offer, the only engine option that they offer on the Camry as of date. They have stopped the standard petrol. The hybrid is the only thing you can buy, and I think it's a very bold move, because let's look at it. The hybrid makes an ecologically strong statement for anyone who owns that car. It's got tremendous fuel efficiency to offer. I mean, in our tests, we've got close to about 26 kilometers per litre using just that electric motor. It needs a bit of judicial driving. You need to be a bit careful with how you use the throttle, but there are huge benefits to reap from that car.
Because of the electric motor, the throttle response is really good, especially at low speeds. I think it's a great car for the city. And apart from a luxury badge on the nose, I think it has everything going for it in that class.
I think Toyota has pioneered this technology of hybrid worldwide, and I'm sure India also will catch up, particularly in the Indian driving conditions. Stop and go kind of a situation, or where the average speed is not more than 30 or 35 in busy cities. Hybrid is the way to go.
It's also a really nice drive. You know, there's a significant difference between switching from the battery onto into the petrol engine, and it just feels really nice. It's a very nice car to drive. I'd go for the hybrid any day. It's amazing. You don't even feel the engine. I had to check a couple of times to make sure the engine was actually on. And very nice car for its category, and its price point I think is great too.
The most important thing was it had a lot of stuff for the back seat when you're being driven. It had the front seat adjustment, it had all the audio controls, the air conditioning controls, and you could even recline the back seat, which none of the others in the segment had.
The combination of the hybrid between the electrics cutting in and the engine actually starting up are fabulous, seamless.
Now, we are not done just yet with our list of contenders for the 2014 CNBC TV 18 OVERDRIVE Awards. Stay tuned to OVERDRIVE next week as we bring you the best of SUVs and motorcycles.